Show open. Dog.
Dog.
Live from the Lucas Oil Studios, it's Horsepower Hump Day. Because every NASCAR fan needs a push of the old bumper to get them over that hump.
Stop. Oh, my God.
Here's Kenny, Crash, Richie, and Cole. Let's get humping, boys.
Oops. Cutting that intro short. It's okay, man. Italiano, Cole Cusimano here in the Freak Nation, and Richard C. Suave. Now, Richie, you already jumped up in the camera a little bit. We're losing your headroom now, my friend. You got all excited and got perpendicular. Just scooch down just a little bit, and we got this made. What's going on, Freak Nation? Dale Jr. speaks, and a whole hell of a lot of people listen. We'll get to that. Denny Hamlin as well. Gen 7 versus Gen 8. Whole lot of madness going on. I got in a nice hike this morning with Crash Gladys. It was 101 degrees.
At 9:30 in the morning. Or no, it was before that, 8:15.
Yeah.
Jeez.
8:15, baby.
Oof.
And I'm carrying over some of that heat in this show, and I might have to drop a few degrees at the end of the show with some opinions that I've got of a former pink shirt young man, at least back in the day.
Oh.
Nice.
And we might even get into this. Have you seen the latest with Roger Penske? No, not Roger Penske, but Penske. Just the name Penske. We may or may not get into that here in the show.
And it's not what was put up on X last night.
No.
With the IndyCar in front of the Speedway Slammer, which is actually not even going to be close to Speedway, Indiana. It's not even that. There's something else that is broken.
Yeah.
The Penske name can't get enough in this 24-hour period.
So we may get to that, Freak Nation, coming up here in the show. But what I want to hit first is something that we were talking about in the pre-show meeting. And getting back to Iowa, I know our good friend Cody Johnson was a fan of most of that race. But like him and many others that watch short track racing, there should not be fuel mileage involved in short track. Your Talladegas, your Atlantas, your Daytonas, we get it. But when it comes to short track racing, there's an issue. And Cole Cusimano gave me the numbers with our good friend Jeff Gluck. Jeff Gluck, fantastic follow on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere else he's part of, if you want some NASCAR insight. Jeff Gluck, every Monday or Tuesday, he puts out a poll asking if the race was good that weekend. And surprisingly, Cole?
I would say unsurprisingly, yeah, the numbers weren't.
Hold on a second.
favored.
You were the one that liked that damn race.
I didn't hate it. I really didn't hate it. I respect, like I've said this numerous times since joining SpeedFreaks, I respect fuel mileage and strategy races. I am with Cody, though, in saying that I do believe that there is a place where these races should typically be held, and it's usually the mile-and-a-half tracks, intermediates,
right.
what have you. Even the speedways, I don't appreciate that at all. I think that should be just flat-out racing and go for the win. But yeah, Jeff Gluck's numbers for the Iowa race, 46.8% said it was a good race. And that was race number 22 out of 25 ranked in 2025. So, yeah, not in favor of the Iowa race. And that was down big from the 91.1% in favor of the race last year, the inaugural debut of that Iowa track for the Cup Series. But, yeah, now I didn't hate it. I get the apprehensions and whatnot. But, man, those are rough numbers to look at.
Well, I haven't even thought about this, Crasher, until talking to Cody. I'm all about inserting all forms of hurdles for a driver and a team to get through a race. I'm all about it. I just, the different dimensions of a race, whether it's fuel mileage or tire wear or downforce. But after talking to Cody about, listen, these short tracks aren't meant for fuel mileage. It didn't even occur to me until I had that conversation. Again, I haven't been a NASCAR snorkeler my whole life. I didn't grow up watching NASCAR, but I have for the last 25 years. It still didn't come to me. And I'm curious, though, if that bleeds off into the younger generation of NASCAR fans, if they really give a shit. Do they just need some entertaining racing? Does fuel mileage give a damn or mean anything to them? You brought up, Cody, go ahead and go to your single shot. You brought up the burn bar is something that might affect Jeff Gluck's poll. Why?
Well, when I see a burn bar, it makes me completely think about fuel and not about racing, not about tires, not about strategy, not anything else. Mm-hmm. It's just going straight to fuel. So it's almost like making yourself. It's like eating and watching something at the same time. You have to have entertainment to do that. Mm-hmm. It's like entertainment on the screen to watch a race. I don't need a burn bar to know that the drivers are pushing. You know what I mean? Like
especially when the burn bar might be slightly off of reality, which I think we've seen these last
Byron.
2 races now. Well, and also
too.
Bubba Wallace in Indianapolis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Just the attitude that's someone that's been anchored in the sport? It's like that's what you're taught to believe, because it doesn't bother me. It's just another element in racing. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, maybe you're a shitty fuel mileage driver, but you're damn good when it comes to soft rubbers. It's just another dimension for me. Is that just something that you're taught? Like, hey, man, we can't have any fuel mileage on a mile over or a 7/8 mile.
Well, I think Cole brought this up. Gosh, I don't even know how many races ago it was, but it was early in the season in which these damn stage breaks, stages are fine, but don't throw a mandatory caution, because that is what has brought about all these fuel mileage races. Fans or crew chiefs know, okay, we have a stop at this point. We have a stop at this point. We're going to take on fuel here, and then, we'll see if we can short fill or do whatever to backtrack the stage. There's all these different strategies that come in, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And at a track like Iowa, I was happy that this is going to sound weird, I was happy that we had so many issues. Yeah, they were crashes and drivers were okay, because that changed people's strategies. And I liked that, because if it would have just gone green, it would have been, okay, here we go, the typical double caution stage breaks that have made this strategy what it is, which is boring. I think that's the big problem here.
Are we just looking for more excuses because we're tired of blaming the freaking car?
Nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's what it is. It's a distraction, because people are all season long. Every single NASCAR fan on Twitter, myself, all of us in this studio, we all know what the problem is. It's this gosh darn Gen 7 car and the way it's built. And we're going to get to a clip with Dale Earnhardt Jr. talking about the problems with this Gen 7 car coming up here in just in a moment. But that's the entire thing I was thinking of, is people are just sick of talking about the Gen 7 car, so they need a distraction, and that's what they came up with. So instead of having to bitch about the car, they bitch about fuel mileage instead. That's what they're doing.
I think that's a perfect way to dovetail into the Dale Jr. bit from Dale Jr. Download, Freak Nation. And this was today or yesterday, Richie?
Tuesday.
All right. So Tuesday. And I'm only going to preface this with, I'm not going to tell you what it's all about, but he's talking about the Gen 7 car and the issues that NASCAR has with it. But watch this and watch his attitude as he talks about the issues of driving this race car. It's a side of Dale. Maybe he got hammered Monday night as he's on vacation and wherever the hell he is. Got hammered and he's a little hungover. But, man, he looks defeated in this. It's Dale Jr. talking about the Gen 7 car, in particular, NASCAR racing, but not in a stock car.
I want to say that I don't love the next gen car, but it's here. I don't love the next gen car. I don't love it's an IMSA car. It's a sports car. It's got a diffuser. It's got low profile tires. It's got big rims and big brakes, and it's a sports car. It's not a NASCAR stock car. But it's here. Everybody's invested. There's millions of dollars already way down the road. And the car's here. It's on the track. It's not changing. It's not going anywhere. And so it doesn't do any good it doesn't do me any good to sit here and about the lack of tire fall off or the inability to pass. It's frustrating. Would I have ever built a NASCAR stock car that had a diffuser?
Never.
No.
I can answer that for you. I know you wouldn't.
And I wouldn't have put a low-profile tire on it and changed the sidewall so the drivers can't feel the tire, don't know where the limit of grip is, and can't trust it. We hear the drivers talk about that all the time. They go in the corner and they don't have any clue where the grip is in the car, and it's tough,
Just snaps.
Yeah, because of the sidewall, the tire's so short. But it's all here. It's here. It's bought and paid for. There's no changes coming. So if you know that nothing's going to change, they ain't taking the diffuser off. They're not changing the tire. They're not changing the brakes. And if you know that, then what good is it to sit here on this podcast and about it? Because at the same time, I believe in a successful NASCAR, and I want NASCAR to succeed and be the best thing going. But I'm not an influencer on what they're going to do with their race car. I wish I was.
That's your most popular personality in NASCAR who's defeated. But you know what he didn't mention? He didn't mention fuel mileage.
That's right, he didn't.
He did not mention fuel mileage.
I just want to know if that was a Titanic Lego set behind
I was
him.
thinking the same thing.
Right?
Titanic,
yeah.
yeah.
And I'm like, he's got half or maybe a third of the Titanic there on his shelf.
Yeah. I mean,
is that in reference to a sinking ship in NASCAR?
Exactly. Could be a little foreshadowing there.
Who wants the job of explaining the diffuser?
The
Cody.
diffuser?
You want the job?
Look at Cody.
I mean, I could do it, but go ahead.
I have it. It's just the underwing on the car. It has like I think it's 4 spokes that poke out from underneath, and it basically redirects the air under the car. And we saw this when the car was first introduced. Those spokes would break off, and the cars would get stuck on the track if they were too flat, not on like a banked surface. But it's basically a pathway for the air to get under the car.
And one of the reasons that Dale is specifically addressing that, it's another instance where it takes it out of the hands of the driver, makes the car easier to drive, which is something that it's like you're getting paid millions of freaking dollars to drive a freaking luxury taxi. No, man, you want a freaking badass hot rod that you're not going to be just exhausted from sweating your ass in that stock car, but your arm pump, your forearms. My goodness, man. Just put it back in the driver's hands.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they said they were going to do with this car, too. Mm-hmm. That the intention was to put it back in the driver's hands, let their skills show out on track, and that's not been the case. And that was a very alarming video for me because that's a side of Dale Jr. that we have not seen before, probably ever, since he's been in NASCAR. He's always advocating for NASCAR. He's always Team NASCAR, and this seems like a breaking point for me. We're now in the 4th year of this Gen 7 car, and I feel like you're seeing more drivers be more vocal about the outcry and how it's not what they want, not what they want to compete with. And when you have somebody like Dale Jr., who's this adamant that it's not a great car, when you have guys like Denny Hamlin on their podcast talking about it, you have more drivers like Kyle Busch, Allmendinger going on the radio and destroying the car, basically. It's a problem. Mm-hmm. And I think the bottom line is there's way too much money invested in this car for it to go away completely. So maybe it does a fix to the underwing. Maybe it's eliminating stage brakes or making the postseason format different. But either way, it's not going away. So you got to just take the cards that you were dealt and go with it from there. But one thing that struck out to me about what Dale Jr. said is that he's not an influencer. Yes, you are.
I know,
when
right?
Dale Jr. speaks, the racing world listens. So
Exactly.
if anyone's going to make change, it's Dale Jr.
Yeah, that's why we kicked off the show with that. And my main takeaway from that Dale Earnhardt Jr. clip is, like you said, Kenny, he seemed defeated there. Mm-hmm. Instead of trying to come on his show and being the bright light at the end of the tunnel and coming on his show like Denny Hamlin does seemingly every week and advocating to change this gosh darn car, he's like, too damn late. We can't do anything about it. And I think that's unfortunate to have the biggest name in the sport come on his show like that instead of using his platform and his influence in the sport to say enough of this crap. This has to change. Just to come on and say and toe the company line with NASCAR and go, oops, too late. We can't do anything now. That sucks, man.
Yeah, it's like, when is it going to be enough of a PR nightmare? Because like you said, drivers are calling this out. And if you continue to get more and more drivers on more and more shows calling out your vehicle of choice right now that makes your sport run, when is NASCAR going to truly get out in front of that and change it? Because you're right. Otherwise, right now, it's just money talking and how invested everybody is. And too bad, so sad. Go with it. You have to.
Yeah, I mentioned this multiple times on this show, I feel like, by now. When you have all these fans who are complaining, and I always, especially in relation to what Dale Jr. said there, I was like, just don't watch, dude. If you really don't like the sport and you hate the playoffs and you hate the car and you hate the fuel mileage, then don't watch. I got a little nugget for you here that I just found. from Black Book Motorsport.
Hey.
NASCAR has gone 14 straight races without 3+ million viewers, the longest streak on record.
Whoa.
That's quite the find.
Wait. 14 straight races, which is essentially this season, of being under the 3 million mark. Longest streak in record.
Correct.
On record.
Could that be attributed to Amazon?
It's because all the races are on cable. That's part of it, yes.
Oh, wait. The Coke 600 was Amazon, wasn't it? 'Cause I was going to say that had to be over 3 million.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Very. So then now what do we say about then just don't watch? Well, I guess they're not.
Well, that's one way to make them feel it.
Yeah.
Might be the only way, honestly. So
We'll sit around here and the proverbial saying lipstick on a pig seems to resonate with me quite a bit when I'm watching a NASCAR Cup race. The 1.5 miles, I know that Cole's the big 1.5 mile snorkeler over there and would rather race at Kansas for 16 races straight.
yeah.
But it's hard for me to sit here and act like everything's hunky-dory and this is awesome. And then hearing Dale Earnhardt Jr. say that,
Yeah.
I mean, he is your biggest pimp. And your biggest pimp is saying shit like that? Holy mackerel. I mean, my job, if you could say that, is to kind of tell it like it is. And I'm just not comfortable saying that was a great race. Oh, that was a fantastic race. Oh, I mean, the races that stick out of my mind this year so far, Atlanta, Talladega, Daytona, Bristol a little bit. But you start to get in these Iowas and Texas, I don't remember them.
True.
I don't.
Yeah.
And that's how I watch a race. Effing entertain me, goddammit. Right?
That's a perfect transition. Perfect transition.
Yeah, I was going to say, Denny Hamlin alludes to
Because
that.
this has been over the last 24 hours. This has been the big conversation starter on the internet, on NASCAR Twitter. I need to bring up Denny Hamlin's tweet so I can get it right. But essentially, Jordan Bianchi was on his show this week, and he was explaining how he likes this win and you're in mentality. Cole, if you can help me find this too while I'm walking through this, Denny Hamlin's tweet, and see who comes up with it first. And so, yeah, Jordan Bianchi was basically saying, look, he likes this win and you're in because it adds more entertainment to these races and to the sport. And he was basically saying, like I've said for years, which is I watch any sporting event because I want to be entertained first and foremost. That's why I tune in. That's why I watch sports. That's why I watch the NFL, because I want to be entertained for 3 hours. I tune in and watch NASCAR because I want to be entertained. And I have a feeling we're going to get a little bit more of that in these next 3 races as we get closer to the playoffs. But, yeah, Denny Hamlin responded to Jordan Bianchi and basically brought up the point. I'm going to paraphrase it. But he was saying that we shouldn't have to give up the integrity of the sport just for entertainment purposes. Mm-hmm. And so that's the conversation on NASCAR Twitter over the last 24, 48 hours is, are those two things mutually exclusive? So can you bring more entertainment to the sport, and does that impact the integrity of the sport, or can you only choose one or the other? And if I had to choose 11 times out of 10, I'm choosing entertainment. Mm-hmm. And that's mostly talking about the playoffs. And I was telling you guys before the show, I was like, listen, these next 3 races, I'm locked in. The rest of these as somebody who has been very, very frustrated with the NASCAR product this year, I think these next 3 races are going to be great because you have so many guys that need to win to get into the playoffs. That's what's going to entertain me. And I feel like NBC is so good about telling those kinds of stories inside of a race. And so these next 13 races, I'm going to be locked in and because they matter. They matter so much more, and they're going to be way more entertaining than watching Dover 4 weeks ago and going, why the hell am I watching this race? It doesn't matter.
Poor Miles.
I won't take that slander. Yeah, just to go back to what you were saying about the Bianchi and Hamlin back and forth. So Dirty Mo Media put out a teaser, and their caption was, "Is NASCAR better when one race can save your season?" Then they have the video clip, which isn't transcribed, but I have Hamlin's response, and that was no. It was Bianchi advocating for what you were saying just now about winning you're in for the playoffs. No, he does not. He's picking entertainment from casual perspective over the sport's integrity and our core fan base. Numbers don't lie. And where Hamlin, I think, is on the money here with numbers don't lie is Bianchi's fellow worker at the Athletic, Jeff Gluck, put out a story last week that I referenced on Sunday for our main show in saying that NASCAR obviously brought about this new playoff format to bring about more excitement and the numbers have shown that there was not an increase in viewership and ratings and whatnot, so there was no correlation to this new format bringing in what they set out to do. So in that sense, I feel like something needs to be adjusted here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The playoffs were brought about to bring in more eyeballs. The eyeballs are not following suit on the equation there.
Right.
And they never have, which is shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know that that's specific? That's weighs heavily on why they did that? Because I'll tell you from a person that's been involved in media for 30 plus years, yes, it's cool to get new viewers or new listeners, but the mainstay of ratings for a radio station and a television station is it's called TSL. It's time spent listening or time spent watching. It's keeping those viewers. Shit, let's don't lose them. We don't need to really gain any more followers. We got to kick ass 2 million people watch us. We just got to be able to keep those bastards because you want to keep them through the spot breaks. You want to show your advertisers that these people are sticking around for, man, this is going to get way deep here. They're going to be sticking around for the first quarter hour, 15 minutes, because the science tells you that people are sticking around and watching the Geico spot, the Lucas Oil spot.
Yeah, they're so entertained that they're not going to switch the channel because they have to see what happens when commercial goes out and the racing comes back.
I would be really curious to see what their numbers are for holding people on the race. Again, you can spin it any way. Like 2 million people watch, or 2 million. You can spin it any way you want to.
The numbers, yeah.
But are people freaking sticking around?
Mm-hmm.
I want to respond to a comment we just got on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, shout out for watching. Thank you for watching. Says, the guy in the bottom right watches F1. That's watching follow the leader. And for the most part, I agree with you. But here's the biggest difference. NASCAR races are 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
I ain't got time for that shit, dude. I'm sorry. Give me a Formula One race with no commercials, done in 90 minutes with... Generally, most races are going to have some sort of drama and some sort of storylines and a story to tell behind it. And like I said, Formula One is not a racing series. It's not a racing series and hasn't been for a while. It is a reality show at 200 miles an hour every week. And that's why I watch, because I love that. Mm-hmm. I love to be entertained in that way. And the amount of drama that goes on online in that sport, that's why I love it. And the personalities in F1 are way more interesting than anything NASCAR has to offer, too. So that's my defense of F1. The racing is crap, but that doesn't matter to me. Because I'm entertained by so much more than what goes on the track.
Because the personalities were already built in before you became a fan. Mm-hmm. And the key that you said there, no commercials.
Mm-hmm. Look, my whole issue with Ralph Schumacher back in the day, I watched Formula One.
Yeah. Because you hated
just
him.
to see how bad Ralph Schumacher sucked ass. Mm-hmm. I watched Formula One to see if again it'd be another DNF for the brother of one of the greatest athletes in the history of mankind, Michael Schumacher. But anyway, you want to set up the Denny Hamlin piece, Richard?
Yeah. So going back to kind of what we were just talking about in relation to Dale Earnhardt Jr. kind of seemingly being defeated about this Gen 7 car. Well, Denny Hamlin was on Action Detrimental. This is a quick little clip, but he kind of gets to the bottom of what's going on here. And he kind of explains a little bit about the diffuser and what's wrong with this race car and a little bit on how to fix it.
Until we get the front of these race cars on the ground instead of a foot off the ground, we're going to continue to have the same problems. And that is when we get behind someone, we're just going to plow. The attitude of the cars are wrong. It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. Please fix it. It's wrong, it's wrong. Fix the attitude of the cars. It'll make them better in traffic. More overbody, less underbody. If you want the same amount of downforce, put it on the overbody, take it off the underbody. It's the design of the car. We keep saying the same thing over and over, but it's just, we're not getting through.
Fuel mileage, Denny. It's all about the fuel mileage, babe.
I think that's a good segue into this poll question I put up on SpeedFreaks.tv. You can go vote on it. And it's a would you rather question. And I find this, I came up with this yesterday because hearing Denny talk about it, we all know that the car is the problem. And it goes to the whole entertainment integrity question as well. So would you rather keep the Gen 7 car but get the full season points? Or would you rather get a new Generation 8 car and keep the current playoff format?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, you got to think. Okay, reprocess.
All right, I know my answer.
Yeah. So, yeah, keep the Gen 7 car, but they get all you NASCAR fans out there get your full season points, but you got to deal with this crap-ass car for 36 races.
Can I guess where this sat?
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
Given the polling that I've seen with Mark Martin, Jeff Gluck, and others about going back to that format, I don't give a shit if they're running chariots. Just go back to the format. I'm going to say that's the leader in the clubhouse.
You're right, and that shocked me. That shocked me. Because the people who are voting on this are telling on themselves really, really hard.
Yes.
These are the people that are complaining about the car.
Yep. Everybody knows that the car's the problem, but they want to keep the car.
If you just give me my full season,
you're telling on yourselves by voting for that, in my opinion.
Stuck in their ways. That's what it boils down to. Yep. Stuck in their old ways.
Because I would have gone the other way on that.
Me too. It was easy. I wanted the new car. I want the new car, and I think that fixes everything.
I would too. I just think it's a moot point with how much money is invested in this. It's only year 4 of the Gen 7, so I agree though. I would much rather have a new car and this same points format or playoff format because it does bring about a lot of excitement. And I know there has not been a lot of correlation in terms of new eyes and whatnot, but it still makes it very entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Has there been any slight discussion of the next generation of car and when that's going to be out? There's not, because too much money's involved now.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the big thing, though, with the dirty air and how the car races. Like, it was noted pretty well how Ryan Blaney had fresher tires. He was plowing through the field, then he just stalled out in 4th place
in Iowa.
Iowa. Mm-hmm. Had he been able to rally and either pass William Byron or at least get to within like a half second of him, I think the poll results might have been a bit different. But the dirty air is so bad, and there's just so much that you cannot do behind the leader that's what's impacting a lot of these pollings and just this car in general is the dirty air.
Here's a scenario for you. We haven't talked about this in a while, Crasher. I was on a Hot Rod Power Tour 2021. That's the summer of 2021. And the Gen 7 car was introduced in 2022. Matter of fact, we were having dinner right across from the Delara offices.
Oh, in Indianapolis.
Downtown
Speedway.
in Speedway. They're in Indianapolis. We were making our way to, I don't know where the hell we're going. But I'm there with several individuals that are in the know with NASCAR, sports cars, IndyCar. And if you guys can recall the quiet bitching and moaning from team owners and drivers about the parts and putting this car together was just below the surface. And then it started to... Team owners and drivers were afraid to complain too much because this was such a deep dive for NASCAR to come in with this new Gen 7 car. But it was bubbling up, and I could feel it. And I'm talking to a guy that has direct contact with the individuals, the companies that were building these parts, small parts, whether it's a door jamb or a bolt or a shifter. And this is, again, Crasher, this is in June, right? Hot Rod Power Tour?
June or July. Yeah. I think that one was
You're
June.
6-7 months before you debut your car, and these teams are getting parts that don't fit. And they're sending them back, and they're getting parts that don't. This car was R&D'd for the first year and a half versus let's work on this goddamn thing for 2 years, a year and a half, whatever it is. And then let's take it back in the shop, get 20 different opinions, fine-tune it, and then put that thing on the track. But these guys had no time in this car, in this race car, to develop where this is going to go.
And that's why the 2022 and 2023 seasons were actually really entertaining because it was so every single the parity was so great. which is what I love. And we talked about it at the time until this day. Like, those 2022 and 2023 seasons with the same exact car were great. And people weren't really
Except for safety. Safety was a bit of an issue.
That was the biggest problem.
That was
Other
an
than that,
issue.
it was great.
Ryan
and
Preece.
then now that everybody's got the grasp of it, it's completely flipped the other direction.
Shouldn't that... The old saying was, and this is the old saying, this is from my mom and dad, you should get... You can go ahead and fix your mic there.
Thanks.
Cole.
Is it falling?
Yeah.
It's like, you should get a new car about every 5 years. You should move into a new house about every 10 years.
Huh?
You should never wear dirty underwear. But my point is this. If NASCAR or IndyCar, and I know it all comes down to money, but if NASCAR says, bam, we're going to go at least 5 years with this Gen 7 car, because 3 years into it, we're going to have an idea where this thing is going and realize that some of this money that we backed up with the Gen 7 car that's going to come out in the Gen 8 car will help lift this Gen 8 car up into where it's a bit more competitive to the 7. My point is this, is just know going in, this car is going to have a 5-year lifespan because these goddamn teams know how to figure this shit out.
Oh, yeah.
They pay engineers millions of dollars to figure out how to shortchange this race car. And they've got it figured out. So I don't know what my point is there. My point was just like NASCAR.
Not having a spec car for, let's see, IndyCar. How many? At least over a decade?
Yeah.
Not holding on to your spec car just to hold on to it because of budgets. If it's broken, something has to be fixed.
For the record, the Gen 6 era lasted from 2013 through 2021. So that was, 9 seasons worth of racing in that car. And we're only 22, 23, 24, 25. This is only season number 4.
I want to kind of play devil's advocate here because, I mean, a lot of the talks on the Gen 7 car, and I know there's obviously a lot of problems with it, drivers coming out with outcry and whatnot, but could this also be like a NASCAR fan thing? Because since I've been watching NASCAR, back in the COT days, you had fans complaining about the COTs.
Oh, that is
then
true.
the Gen 6, now the Gen 7, so I don't know. It's subjective, obviously. I know it's got its flaws, but it's just people complaining to complain, maybe?
I think what weighs heavier on the Gen 7 car is the fact that there are so many drivers and former drivers being so vocal. And it's all typically about the same thing. It's the downforce is wrong. It's that diffuser underneath. And just make changes to put it back into the driver's hands, stop it with the spec series, and just bring racing back to what it should be. A driver talent, not a mechanically car Formula One talent.
Agreed.
I asked ChatGPT, what is the problem with the Gen 7 race car? That's all I put in there. And this is crazy.
Uh-oh.
Safety concerns. Rear impacts are too stiff. High-profile injuries with Kurt Busch and Alex Bowman in 2022. Difficulty passing. Dirty air is still a big issue. Too dependent on restarts and pit stops.
They just took a transcript of our show.
Yeah. Short track and road course races are underwhelming. Lack of fall off and mechanical grip. Now, here's the one I was just talking about in 2021. Repair costs and supply issues. Spec parts are expensive and scarce. And then aero dependency still exists, transaxle, gearbox reliability, all of that. That's ChatGPT, man. That's
The AI knows the problem, but the people in NASCAR don't.
right.
NASCAR knows the problem, but they're just too ignorant to do anything about it.
They don't want to address it.
We'll see. Maybe ChatGPT can find a solution to this current situation.
I will ask.
Ask ChatGPT
Okay.
when NASCAR should get a new car.
Can you find... You guys chat here.
This is awesome.
The ChatGPT.
We still
section
haven't
of the
played.
show.
Hold on, we still haven't played Denny's comments, have we?
Oh, we did?
No.
Yeah, you just weren't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention. Oh, that's right, because he was talking about the dirty air and the plowing.
Exactly.
And
Oh, it's just scrolling. It's just scrolling.
It's writing out a novel.
It is. It is just scrolling. Searching the web. There comes the NASCAR logo. There's the racer logo.
It's saying, "Oh, give me a few minutes on this one."
Yeah. Enhanced safety measures. Front and center clip softening. Blowover flip prevention devices. I thought they already had that. improved aerodynamics, passing potential, horsepower increase, repair and operational flexibility, tire fall off, larger wheel, tire combo. Maybe I ought to just text Dale Jr. Dale, will you hook up NASCAR with ChatGPT, man?
Because you are an influencer, and they will listen to you.
Yes.
This is greatness, man. This is awesome.
They got it all figured out over there.
You can send that to Steve Phelps at NASCAR.com.
So are we basically going to go into Watkins Glen with this car and another SVG win?
Probably.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
That's the safest bet.
I'm here for it.
Plus 125, heavy favorite for the Go Bowling at the Glen, as he should be. Won the last 3 road course races.
Yep. Why would you not? Yeah. Yep.
All right. Talladega Nights and Kyle Larson. This happened, was this today, Richie?
Today.
All right.
Today.
Go ahead and set this up, my friend, where Kyle Larson was when he said this.
Okay, so any NFL fans out there might remember the name Julian Edelman. I hate that guy.
Let's go, Broncos. Yeah, let's go.
I
know it's Patriots, but come on, Broncos too.
I do not like Julian Edelman because he torched the Rams in the Super Bowl many years ago. But anyway, Julian Edelman, former NFL player, wide receiver, Super Bowl champion, has a podcast. And he had Kyle Larson on the show. And I didn't watch much of it, but it was like a 2-hour podcast. And I think Kyle was on there for pretty much the entirety of the 2 hours, talking about among many topics, including which was motorsports movies, something we talked about and ranked on this show several months ago. And so Talladega Nights came up in discussion. And Kyle Larson, well, he stepped in it a little bit. Here's Kyle Larson with Julian Edelman.
Do you guys like Talladega Nights? Is that movie funny or is that dumb for you guys?
I mean, I like the movie. I think it did not do anything good for our sport. I think it turned our sport into like a joke, unfortunately. But it is, I mean, that's got to be like one of the most popular racing movies.
It's just a funny comedy with those boys.
Yeah, but that's just, I feel like it just, the rest of the world, like, that's what they think about our sport now.
I think the comedy's a comedy, Kyle. I think it, do some people maybe think that? Absolutely. Your Jean Girard, your Formula One fans, they like that movie because, yes, that's you hillbilly people. No, the rest of us, though, it's a freaking comedy. You know you're getting a movie with Will Ferrell. You know it's going to be funny. You know it's not going to poke fun in serious manners. What did Caddyshack do for golf? These things are good to open up new eyeballs to witness your sport. And then you know what? If it gets somebody to go buy a ticket at a track and then come home and watch the next one on TV, that's all you want. It's not making fun of your sport. If you can be self-deprecating with it, enjoy it, soak it up, and that's only positive from there.
ChatGPT.
Oh, no.
Again.
Oh, boy. Oh, no.
Did Talladega Nights hurt or help NASCAR? How it helped NASCAR? Mainstream exposure. Appeal to young audiences. These are the titles of, anyway. Helped cement NASCAR's identity. It reinforced the Southern Rebel All-American brand NASCAR leaned into for decades. Even if it exaggerated it, it was recognizable. Then there's hurt NASCAR. Stereotyping and mockery. Alienated serious fans and insiders. Timing and branding clashes. NASCAR was trying to expand globally and elevate its image in the 2000s. And a goofy comedy with fart jokes and fake French villains didn't align with that mission.
Fake French villains. That's
all right,
good.
so the verdict from ChatGPT, Talladega Nights gave NASCAR a pop culture joke, but at the cost of reinforcing caricatures. It was great for laughs and short-term visibility, but arguably hurt the sport's long-term image as it tried to gain respect among new demographics and sponsors.
No, that's just Chat. ChatGPT is sitting on the fence.
They're just regurgitating what Kyle Larson said there.
No.
He's not the only one. Maybe this is just the Team Hendrick thing, the most boring team in NASCAR, because William Byron quote tweeted this Kyle Larson quote and agreed and said 100% should not be the first thing people think of.
Nope, it's soon going to be Days of Thunder 2. I mean,
yeah.
Days of Thunder did the same. Come on.
This is your problem with NASCAR is you have one of your most popular drivers, if not your most popular driver, Kyle Larson, and then you have a guy who is contending for championships in William Boring Byron. These are the guys selling your sport, and this is the personality you're selling. We're no fun. We're boring. We're no fun. We can't laugh at ourselves. We can't make fun of ourselves. We don't want anybody to see our logo and see our sport anywhere but at the racetrack and on Fox TV, and that's all we want. We don't want. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was in Talladega Nights. He had a great cameo. It was fun. It was hilarious.
And funny you say that. From Dale Earnhardt Jr. It was funny, but I don't think people in the garage wanted it to define the sport. Now, Richie, Cole Cusimano, friend of the working girl, he's here with us. Cole Cusimano,
went over my head on that one. I don't know.
It's just something I say every now and then. The #1 downloaded debut movie on Netflix is now
Happy Gilmore 2.
How many appearances from current and former golfers are in that movie? You can't name them all.
I'm not a big golf guy, but I would say there was at least 6.
Teen.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Of all these sports that have had movies make fun of their sport, Caddyshack, Happy Gilmore, in his work boots and a hockey stick out there schooling. Really? NASCAR is going to bitch about this? I would think, and I'm sure when Caddyshack came out that Freddie Couples or Tom Kite, some of those old timers thought, oh, what is this? There's no way this is, what is going on?
Disrespectful.
But embrace it. Because you've got to get out of your vacuum and realize that really you're a freaking minority. You're a huge minority. You may get 2-3 million people watching your races, but in order to keep these freaking sponsors on the side of your race car and on your billion-dollar network agreements, you got to get outside and grab a younger audience. What was the number? I know I dropped this on you guys. Was it Saturday or Sunday night? The number of Amazon, the average age of Amazon versus.
Yeah, it was almost 10 years younger.
Yeah.
We brought that up on the show before. Yeah.
No, I was 50s. It was like
53 to like 60 something.
Yeah. And I know a 63-year-old doesn't give a shit about a 17-year-old watching. He doesn't care. He just wants to be entertained. I get it. But, man, like Richie said, shorten the day. We don't need to get in the rabbit hole with that.
Yeah, no.
But no. Maybe because we're so close to it, Crasher, it didn't offend me. I thought it was awesome.
I thought it was hilarious, and I loved it. And it actually did kind of make me want to, hey, let's go to the track and see how they did this. And then, obviously, it was Hollywoodized. But
quick anecdote about this movie. Came out in 2004. I was 13. My sisters were 12 at the time. PG-13 movie. My mom dropped us off at the movie theater so the three of us could go see this by ourselves. And at the time, I was kind of just kind of getting into NASCAR at that point because of the video games and because of the, as new Nextel Cup branding. And so for me and my sisters, Talladega Nights was kind of the launching point of my NASCAR fandom in a way. And then I kind of started to follow the sport from then on out. And they did too for a little while there because they were around me all the time. So they had their favorite drivers of their own. One was a Jamie McMurray fan. The other was a Casey Kane fan.
Oh, I see why for
and
both.
So, this is they need more of this, man. Just, get eyeballs on your damn sport. Why is Formula One so popular now?
Drive to survive.
Exactly.
They get eyeballs on everything. I mentioned this with the IndyCar and Fox thing. There's Formula One branding on anything. I could walk down the street, go to Walmart, and I can probably buy Formula One branded lip balm. Right?
Probably could. Yeah, that's what matters. Look, it attracted you to the sport. That was, so clearly there's 3 of the demographic that it worked on. You're not the only case either. So it worked. It clearly worked. You are a walking example.
Yeah, I think for me, there's something to be said, obviously, for the satire and the mockery that it makes of NASCAR. But at the same time, when you have guys like Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly leading your cast, that's an automatic attention grabber. It grossed let's see here, $163 million worldwide on a $72 million budget. So it made a ton of
more
money.
than that. It had to.
That was the opening run.
Oh,
but
okay,
yeah, it made a ton of money.
Chat
Brought a ton of eyes to the
GPT.
sport.
Oh, no,
And
stop.
like you go to the racetrack now, you still see tons of fans in Ricky Bobby gear, Gene
without
Gerard.
question. Yeah.
You hear the same quotes every time you go to the track. Rubbins racing,
Game first,
shake and bake,
your
game first, your
last.
last. Like it's all, everywhere you go, anywhere you look. So it did a lot of great things for the sport. What I will say though, in regards to what you just dropped about F1 there, I would love to see a serious racing movie like an F1, like a Rush, with NASCAR, whether it be about Dale Earnhardt or Jeff Gordon or something. I think that would have potential to be huge for the sport and the growth of it.
You want Days of Thunder 2 to go more in that vein?
Yes, exactly.
Good luck. Hollywood's got to sell drama, right?
Days of Thunder, drama.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, moneymaker.
Brad Pitt in F1. Come on. Come on, man.
But it was good because camera angles. You knew that the crashes weren't, well, hopefully people knew that cars don't.
Yeah,
really
Brock Hummer
fly
gets
in.
behind a serious NASCAR movie. I'll buy into it, maybe.
Yeah.
This just came to me, and I'm going to end the show here in a minute. But when I came up with this idea of SpeedFreaks, this was 25 years ago. And prior to that, I was involved in a lot of rock and roll radio stations. I was doing a lot of TV. I had shows on Discovery Channel. I was in Japan, music and animals. And then I was sports anchor and music anchor on a network in Los Angeles. And what that did, it allowed me, I had a great news director that said, Kenny, California Speedway, there's a kart race out there. What do you know about this? So I know a little bit about it. There's a NASCAR Cup race here. You want to go? I would do these stories on these motorsports that came through Southern California, Supercross, flat track, drag racing, all of this. But up until I created SpeedFreaks, I couldn't tell you 20, 15 drivers from the NASCAR Cup Series. I couldn't do the same for IndyCar. Fortunately, we created SpeedFreaks, and I'm fairly knowledgeable, some say I'm not, with the majority of motorsports series. But prior to that, and I thought about this, I thought, what was it, man? Because I gravitated towards Supercross and I gravitated towards drag racing. For one, those were really the two biggest motorsports that came through Dallas, Fort Worth.
Where you grew up.
Where I grew up. But also, they were so goddamn quick.
Oh.
Meaning, it was one and done, or it was just a 20-minute moto plus 2 laps. It was, at the time, 6 seconds. Okay, next race. Versus 3.5 freaking hours. That 11-year-old in the other room, my daughter, she is not going to stick around for 3.5 hours. A 63-year-old who's damn near retired is going to stick around and watch 3.5 hours of a cup race. The only reason I'll speak for myself, is because I got to talk about it on Sunday night. That's the only reason. And I can promise you, Steve Phelps, Steve O'Donnell, half of the people that collect the NASCAR check would do the same damn thing if they weren't collecting a check from NASCAR.
They wouldn't have their butt on a couch for 3.5 hours. Maybe a little bit of pre-show, maybe a little post-show. So let's go 4 hours on a Sunday glued to a TV. Yeah, that's a hard ask.
I understand it. I understand. As a teenager, it was really not necessarily about the racing. It was about the whole personality of the race, NHRA, drag racing, IndyCar, NASCAR, that was so attractive to me. So asking somebody to stick around for 3.5 hours that is 22 years old and got their phone in their hand 24/7 while while their girlfriend is saying, hey, man, come upstairs and take care of me. Look, you can't, this isn't how you grab 22 or 25-year-olds, man. The average age of a NASCAR viewer currently is in their 60s. That's average, which means they take the youngest and the oldest. Imagine. Oof. 65, I would say 65 plus years old, 30, 40% of the NASCAR viewership.
Well,
damn.
63 is your average, then
yeah. Really? But you go to a Supercross race, you've got young moms and dads that are in their 20s and 30s and moms with freaking racks to die for and that are
wow.
The young kids, the teenagers, you see teenagers with dates, 20-somethings going to a Supercross race. They're there. They've got the final moto and they've got so many things.
You get everything in one night. You get your qualifying races and your feature race and then a fireworks show. Lasers, by the way, to introduce all the riders at the beginning. All of that in the span of 3 hours. That's a lot of racing. That's a lot of entertainment.
That's why High Limit's successful, too.
Boom, nailed it. Yep.
Here's some numbers for you. I wasn't able to, in my quick Google search, to find numbers as of like 2025, but this just gives you an idea. Average age of a Formula One fan has dropped from 36 years old in 2017. Again, this is as of November 2021 to just 32 years old.
Oh my God!
In 2021,
that's the average.
Average.
Yep.
MLB 57, NFL 50, NHL 49, NBA 42.
So NASCAR's average age, they're the dads to the Formula One fans.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it.
But those races are 3.5 hours more entertaining than the F1 race. So
it's okay. No, I disagree. I disagree with that. Real quick, I do want to go to our chat here before we get to wrap up. Joel weighing in here, saying, first of all, NASCAR is not a sport. Thanks for tuning in, Joel. We appreciate you for. I tried to ask why. Why is it not a sport? He hasn't replied yet. So Joel, if you're still watching us, please let us know. And then we also got a $4.99 super chat from our guy Athletic Geek. Going back to the Kyle Larson conversation, I don't agree with Kyle. On the flip side, in my experience, when a non-fan hears I'm a NASCAR fan, they can use stuff from the movie to sound condescending.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
I get it all the time. You know Ricky Bobby? Shake and bake. It's stupid.
What about Longest Yard in football? What's the movie with Will Ferrell playing semi-pro basketball? I mean, it's like every freaking sport.
Semi-pro.
Yeah. Every sport has a parody.
Oh, Steph Curry. You know Steph Curry's out there shitting on semi-pro right now, right?
Right.
He is? I didn't
LeBron
know
James hates that movie.
Yeah. Well, you're being facetious.
You are. Yeah, you are.
Of course not. No, because they're actually fun and they're popular and they sell their sport like they should.
That's the last big release NASCAR had, and it's only helped them. So
yeah,
I agree.
So I mentioned the main reason I created SpeedFreaks 25 years ago. It reared its ugly head late last week or this weekend, I think it was. I think it was Sunday night, right, Crasher?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was Sunday.
Okay, that's all you need to say. That's all you need to say. Don't spoil it. Why 25 years ago, and frankly, for the next 10, 15 years, men and women were in the pits with sport coats.
Excuse me, what? Men were in the pits. This was before women pit reporters. I'm just throwing it out there.
People were in the pits reporting on NASCAR, drag racing, not Supercross. Oh, Flat Track was another series I liked back in the day as a kid, man. You're one and done. And I just thought, man, this is freaking motorsports. It stinks. It's greasy. It's fast. It's loud. People get injured. But let's go there like I'm an accountant and report on it. It didn't make any sense to me. So one of the things that we hung our hat on is we were not pink shirt. Why a dude would be reporting on motorsports on a race that goes 320 miles an hour with a pink shirt and a blue tie and a blue sports coat, khaki pants, just didn't jive to me. And I was 39, 38 years old at the time. But I've always been kind of a cat that just went the other way when everybody went that way. So we created SpeedFreaks for that reason specifically, is to talk about motorsports, God damn it, like we do in the pits. It may get us in trouble from time to time. I put a woman on the show. I put a comedian on the show. And to many people's dismay, I put a black man on the show for 25 years. And we kicked people's ass with SpeedFreaks the minute we showed up at a racetrack. People were quietly booing us, telling us we weren't going to succeed. We weren't going to last another 5 years. Rusty Wallace not going to talk to you that way. That dude told me that at Irwindale Speedway. Oh, Irwindale Speedway is no longer here. So now, 25 years later, everybody that's on a motorsports podcast, everybody that's on a motorsports TV show, whether they know it or not, have benefited from SpeedFreaks and what we created 25 effing years ago. Yet, there's a dude named John Kernan who was one of the cats that we went hard at out of the gate. I don't know John Kernan, might be a nice guy, but as of late, I don't consider him to be a nice guy. Because Sunday night, after he watched our friend Lee Diffie from Australia calling an American race, he didn't like that. John Kernan fits the initial problem that SpeedFreaks tried to solve 25 years ago. What did I say about pink shirts? Here's your guy with RPM tonight, John Kernan. That guy is talking about motorsports.
Oh, and that hairdo.
I don't want to get it, Crasher. This isn't about me critiquing his. Yeah. This is about, look at that picture one more time. This is about a guy trying to sell you on the fastest motorsports on the planet, going 300 miles an hour, not selling you multi-level marketing for suppositories. This is a guy that's giving you the personality of motorsports. When someone wants to get off and enjoy a NASCAR Cup race or an NHRA race, this is one of your representatives here. You think that's going to get young people out to the goddamn race? No. But what John Kernan did Sunday night after hearing Lee Diffie, the first time this year for 2025, call the race for the NASCAR Cup Series. And this is the tweet that John Kernan, a dude we railed against, and all of his kind 25 years ago because of their, frankly, beliefs, views, and where they were taking motorsports. Here's his tweet. I think I'm done with NASCAR. After further review, stage racing sucks. Okay, cool. I agree, JK. And I'm sure Lee Diffie is a great guy, but if I want to hear that accent, I'll watch Formula One. Sorry. Guess I'm a xenophobe. When you drop xenophobe into a comment, you fall right smack dab into that pile of S that was covering motorsports 25 years ago, that did not welcome a black man into the pits of a NASCAR Cup Series race. But NHRA sure did, because there were black people driving race cars and winning championships. But really? Put the picture up. John Kernan? You're telling me that you got a problem with Lee Diffie in that snappy pink shirt of yours? Come on, man. The definition of a xenophobe can dovetail into racism. If you follow John Kernan on Twitter, all I'm going to say is you know where he leans. I'm not calling him a racist. I'm calling him a xenophobe because he said it himself. He said it himself. And a xenophobe is basically saying that he doesn't like other people from foreign countries coming over here and calling a race. When in the 70s, we had, his name escapes me.
David Hobbs.
David Hobbs calling cup races.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
yeah, it's not like this is their first rodeo with a different accent covering a cup race.
Like, are you watching the race because of who's calling the race? It's like music at a party. If I'm at someone's party and I'm talking to them and I hear the music, then the music's too loud. There should be background music while you're talking to someone at a party. Hearing Lee Diffie, Steve Letarte, Jeff Burton talk about the race, frankly, should be secondary. And the producer behind the cameras, the tech producer, is the one that gives you the pictures to show you that really the commentary doesn't really have to be there. It's the excitement of a race. So John Kernan, to go after Lee Diffie because he continues to kick some ass in all of motorsports, Supercross, IndyCar, NASCAR, is so off base, man. And to admit that you're a xenophobe, bro, you're exactly why we kicked your ass and those like you when we created SpeedFreaks 25 freaking years ago. I want a close-up of every happy bastard on this set. Give me a close-up of Cole. Cole's a young dude, 20-something. Give me a shot of Richie. Richie started out on the show when he was early 20s. Give me a shot of Cody, that burly bastard over there. And give me a shot of Crash. There you go. Now give me that 4 shot again. The only thing that's missing right here is a person of color. But I will say this, 25 years of stat man here in the Freak Nation taught me more about life than any other happy bastard, put that picture up again, wearing a pink shirt, will ever be able to tell me about motorsports. Life and living with Statman for 25 years? Come on, man. It should be required living. Go live with a person of color, someone from a foreign country or someone from another country in a foreign country. You should live with them. I lived in Japan for 6 months. There was some staring, some gawking going on. Now, South Korea was a different animal. I was eating a burger at Burger King, yes, in South Korea, and people would stop and watch me eat. It was crazy.
You were so tall.
But John Kernan, man, come on, buddy. Do better. And we didn't even get into ICE or Penske. Come on, motorsports. Just do better. Just do better and ride the line, man. Straddle the fence. Will you? Because you give us. No, you don't. You don't give me a bad name. You make me waste 10 minutes of a goddamn radio show talking about you. Show me the shirt. In a freaking pink shirt. Your producer at the time, I will not drop his name, is one of the greatest writers in all of sports. And you know what? He's probably young, mid-40s. And at the time when he was producing, he was in his early 20s. And he says to me to this day, Kenny, we knew exactly who you were talking about. You were hammering us on RPM tonight. Yes, we were. And you drop xenophobe again, I'll hammer you again because that's not motorsports. That's not motorsports. Does it piss you off when SVG wins a race with that accent?
Oh.
It takes money away from Americans? Americans. Does it? Do you cheer when Kyle Kirkwood wins a race because Alex Palou didn't win it? A dude from Spain coming over here? Do you cheer for that? No. No. That ain't us, man. That ain't us. We'll do it again Sunday night, Freak Nation. Speed Freaks every Sunday night on YouTube, Facebook Live, the Freak Radio Network, podcast everywhere, Freak Nation. If you miss it, you go to Racer Network on Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. See ya.